Genesis chapter 3.
Now the snake was wiser than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, Has God truly said that you may not take of the fruit of any tree in the garden? And the woman said, We may take of the fruit of the trees in the garden. But of the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden, God has said, If you take of it or put your hands on it, death will come to you. And the snake said, Death will not certainly come to you, for God sees that on the day when you take of its fruit, your eyes will be open, and you will be as gods, having knowledge of good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and a delight to the eyes, and to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and gave it to her husband. And their eyes were open, and they were conscious that they had no clothing, and they made themselves coats of leaves stitched together. And there came to them the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the evening wind. And the man and his wife went to a secret place among the trees of the garden, away from the eyes of the Lord God. And the voice of the Lord God came to the man, saying, Where are you? And he said, Hearing your voice in the garden, I was full of fear, because I was without clothing, and I kept myself from your eyes. And he said, Who gave you the knowledge that you were without clothing? Have you taken of the fruit of the tree which I said you were not to take? And the man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me the fruit of the tree, and I took it. And the Lord God said to the woman, What have you done? And the woman said, I was tricked by the deceit of the snake, and I took it. And the Lord God said to the snake, Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle and every beast of the field. You will go flat on the earth, and dust will be your food all the days of your life. And there will be war between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. By him will your head be crushed, and by you his foot will be wounded. To the woman he said, Great will be your pain in childbirth. In sorrow will your children come to birth. Still your desire will be for your husband, but he will be your master. And to Adam he said, Because you gave ear to the voice of your wife, and took of the fruit of the tree which I said you were not to take, the earth is cursed on your account. In pain you will get your food from it all your life. Thorns and waste plants will come up, and the plants of the field will be your food. With the hard work of your hands you will get your bread till you go back to the earth from which you were taken. For dust you are, and to the dust you will go back. And the man gave his wife the name of Eve, because she was the mother of all who have life. And the Lord God made for Adam and for his wife coats of skins for their clothing. And the Lord God said, Now the man has become like one of us, having knowledge of good and evil. And now if he puts out his hand and takes of the fruit of the tree of life, he will go on living forever. So the Lord God sent him out of the Garden of Eden to be a worker on the earth, from which he was taken. So he sent the man out. And at the east of the Garden of Eden he put winged ones and a flaming sword, turning every way to keep the way to the tree of life. Genesis chapter 4. And the man had connection with Eve his wife, and she became with child and gave birth to Cain, and said, I have got a man from the Lord. Then again she became with child, and gave birth to Abel, his brother. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a farmer. And after a time Cain gave to the Lord an offering of the fruits of the earth. And Abel gave an offering of the young lambs of his flock, and of their fat. And the Lord was pleased with Abel's offering. But in Cain and his offering he had no pleasure. And Cain was angry, and his face became sad. And the Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry, and why is your face sad? If you do well, will you not have honor? And if you do wrong, sin is waiting at the door, desiring to have you, but do not let it be your master. And Cain said to his brother, Let us go into the field. And when they were in the field, Cain made an attack on his brother Abel and put him to death. And the Lord said to Cain, Where is your brother Abel? And he said, I have no idea. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the earth. And now you are cursed from the earth, whose mouth is open to take your brother's blood from your hand. No longer will the earth give you her fruit as the reward of your work. You will be a wanderer in flight over the earth. And Cain said, My punishment is greater than my strength. You have sent me out this day from the face of the earth and from before your face. I will be a wanderer in flight over the earth, and whoever sees me will put me to death. And the Lord said, Truly, if Cain is put to death, 7 lives will be taken for his. And the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one might put him to death. And Cain went away from before the face of the Lord, and made his living place in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain had connection with his wife, and she became with child and gave birth to Enoch. And he made a town, and gave the town the name of Enoch after his son. And Enoch had a son Irad. And Irad became the father of Mehujael, and Mehujael became the father of Methushael, and Methushael became the father of Lamech. And Lamech had 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. And Ada gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of such as are living in tents and keep cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all players on instruments of music. And Zillah gave birth to Tubal-Cain, who is the father of every maker of cutting instruments of brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, Give ear to my voice, you wives of Lamech. Give attention to my words, for I would put a man to death for a wound, and a young man for a blow. If 7 lives are to be taken as punishment for Cain's death, 77 will be taken for Lamech's. And Adam had connection with his wife again, and she gave birth to a son to whom she gave the name of Seth. For she said, God has given me another seed in place of Abel, whom Cain put to death. And Seth had a son, and he gave him the name of Enosh. At this time men first made use of the name of the Lord in worship,